Now, if you've been looking at the CS2 case market over the past couple of months, you probably noticed not too much has really been going on, but the truth is I think we're on the very edge of possibly a very large piece of growth, and that's because of this graph right here. As you can see, obviously we are on a small increasing trajectory over the past couple of months when we're talking about the total case supply, but I want to zoom out specifically to the beginning of 2023 right here, and as you can see, we are down horrendously in the amount of supply out there for cases. Nearly about 30 to 40% absolutely disappeared over the past year and a half, or almost 2 years now. Absolutely crazy. But like we just mentioned, we're on a little bit of an increasing trajectory right now, except that's not really how it works. All of the cases that are going up right now are only the active duty. As you can see, the estimated supply, obviously these are not 100% guaranteed, but you can see the rough trend. All of them are going up significantly since we saw the release of the armory, which is really good when we're talking about rare case investments, because those right now are getting a lot of demand still, but they're not having any of that supply pumped back in like we're seeing for these active duty cases, which are absolutely crazy in how much they're increasing in total supply right now. SkinSwap just went ahead and dropped their biggest update ever. Not only are they sponsoring you with that top link in the description, but they're also introducing backpacks, allowing you to buy any item on the site and it's going to be personally held for you. Their trading feature is often told to be the best in the business, offering near instant trades, taking under 30 seconds right now. And their selling feature is instant as well, offering PayPal, crypto, and tons of different options if you're looking to get your money this second. And finally, they've always got that 40% deposit bonus if you're looking to pick up some brand new skins, so try them out today. There's no reason not to. Now, before we get too deep into it, I want to talk about the gallery case. Now, the gallery case is a little bit of an interesting predicament. That's because obviously if we want to talk about the previous operation cases, Riptide, Broken Fang, and Shattered Web, you can see on screen all of them are absolutely insanely high in a price point, but the problem really lies in the fact that we don't know where the gallery case really sits. It's not an operation case, it's an armory case. I honestly think the profit potential inside this area is very large, because obviously if it does become a discontinued case, it does have that possibility to get up to that price point eventually. Obviously the supply on this thing is going to be absolutely massive. With that being said, if they get down to maybe an 85 or a 90 cent price point, I'm definitely going to look at possibly picking some of these up, because I don't really expect them to fall much further lower than that. Now, overall, why do I think cases are in a really prime position right now, potentially going to explode, potentially going to run up very quickly in value? It comes down to a lot of different things, but specifically over the past couple of years. If you want to look at it, case prices absolutely exploded when we saw the release of CS2 being announced. We saw everything go absolutely insane, and that was the beginning of 2023. Since then, we really haven't been seeing too much for overall case growth, and it makes sense. A lot of these peaked at this all-time high that it was going to take a while to get back to. We're starting to get back to that right now, but we'll get to that in a quick second. The biggest thing that happens inside this area is the fact is the supply was significantly higher during that period, and that's extremely important because we can definitely see the price point that consumers are willing to pay for a case to open it and long to invest into it. And right now I think we're sitting in a prime position for a lot of people to come back around to this investing. As I mentioned before, almost all of these cases are starting to approach their all-time highs for their history in the game. That's absolutely crazy considering over the past year and a half, nothing has really been beneficial for the rare case market. The rare case market has been pretty neglected. If we want to talk about our cheaper rare cases, something like the snakebite has gone up nearly 25 to 30% over the past month. Nothing has happened for the snakebite. The snakebite is currently the worst rare case to invest into when we're talking about fundamentals. Not price, but fundamentals. It's got a high supply. The unboxing rate is definitely decent, but on a statistic level, it's going to take a long time to get rid of the total supply for the snakebite just because of how big the supply is. And yet, people are still making investments into it. People are really interested in this case, and honestly, I don't think it's a bad investment because we know cases are going to be continuously unboxed. We know these rare cases are going to keep on decreasing in total supply, and we're talking about a price point, 25 or 30 cents for a rare case is an absolute steal in today's market when most of them are sitting at around $1 minimum. Now, talking about what's next inside of this area, I want to point to this graph right here. In the entirety of 2023, we saw about 40% of the cases being unboxed coming from the rare area. About 50% were active duty and 10% were purchasable. We're going to group those together and say 60% inside of that area. Now, fast forward to today. If we want to look at the last week, we can see that it seems significantly more weighted just on the base surface, and that's exactly how it is. We're seeing 73.4% of all cases coming from the active duty or purchasable, which also includes the gallery. Now, this is a crazy high number, and when we fast forward to a month, we can see nearly the identical percentage. We're at 73 point something still. Absolutely crazy. Now, going back to what we mentioned in the beginning with these active duty cases that were suddenly increasing in supply significantly, and this is extremely important because we can see exactly what people are doing right now. People that were opening up active duty cases previously are still opening up active duty cases or the gallery case. People that were opening up rare cases previously have not stopped opening up rare cases. This is the most important piece I want to get across. The fact is, just because the gallery case has come out and obviously it's a purchasable item, it has definitely decreased the amount of rare cases being unboxed, but not by that big of a significant margin. And that's why rare cases are so valuable right now, because they are so impermeable to these active duty cases that are coming out. People that are unboxing the old rare cases are are doing so for the rare special items inside of them, or potentially the skins. Usually it's the rare special item though, and that's extremely important because the new cases that are coming out can't compete with them inside this area. If you want a gamma knife, you have to open up a gamma case. If you want a butterfly Doppler, you gotta open up a spectrum case. And if you want something that's an OG rare knife, you have to open up the revolver or an even older case. This is perfect. This is why rare cases have been able to succeed so far, and why honestly I think right around the corner a lot of them have the potential to go up significantly more. People are really attracted to these old skins, and the new active duty cases and the purchasable ones can't compete inside of this area, and we can already see people are not phased by these new cases coming in. The rare cases are still being unboxed at a very strong rate, and that's extremely important considering the supply on these keeps on going down. And that right there is indeed the last piece of the puzzle, the supply. If we want to talk about these cases, obviously we know they're decreasing supply. We can just look at them. They make up 1% of the drop pool. There's 40 some items inside of that area, and obviously these cases are being unboxed a ton. But look at something like the Prisma 2. Now obviously this is just an estimate, but as you can see right here, it has gone down significantly. I mean, we're talking about millions of cases over the past just 3 months. What if we're talking about the entire lifespan? I don't think these cases really have that much supply left. Probably a little bit more than these estimates go ahead and say, because these are on the very, very volatile end. But I definitely think the supply inside of this area is much lower than I think a lot of people realize. Obviously, there are tons of people with investments inside of this area, but there's also a lot of case unboxers. People have been unboxing these cases forever, and it's starting to get to the point now where they're starting to get really expensive, and these people are still unboxing these cases. They're going to keep on unboxing these cases even if they're $1, $1.50, $2. Honestly, there's no better way to illustrate this than to look at these graphs right here. These are the graphs of these cases that are on the cheaper rare cases, in my personal opinion, since the beginning of 2023. As you can see, we're looking at maybe what, 10-20% of what we had at the beginning of 2023, and you can see the price point that we saw where they were nearly at their all-time high was almost 10 times the supply that we're sitting at right now by this estimate. Obviously this is just an estimate and it's to be taken that way, but it's definitely showing the supply on these cases has been wiped out and the price point has really not moved that significantly. Now if you want to make an investment, what are the best cases to buy? Now obviously make your own investment decisions, don't just trust me, but I definitely think there's a couple big winners inside of this area. I'm watching the Prisma cases. Prisma 1, Prisma 2 have shown that they are a very dominant duo inside of this area. They're on the cheaper end and they're definitely ones that I would be watching inside of this. Also the Snakebite and the Clutch. These are going to be your two cheapest options at a rare case. They're going to be a lot more of a long-term hold than anything else, but I definitely think they have a lot more potential inside this area because if we see a run up due to hype, these cases are definitely going to probably catch up to some of their competitors inside this area. I think they're in a really strong position moving forward. If you're looking for something a little bit more expensive, I would definitely suggest checking out the Revolver case. It's the cheapest option to get those OG knives, which are extremely desirable and extremely expensive in today's market. And then you've got your Chromas, your Spectrums, your Wildfires. I think these are all going to be really good cases. They're a little bit more expensive than I would say at a baseline level you should be investing into if you don't have a huge budget, but I definitely think overall they're one of the better options, especially when we're talking about the price point and the overall market and where they're sitting at. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day.